Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, Father.
For the past few weeks, we've been talking about the renewal of parish spirit and renewal of the parish in general. And we've chosen a very simple vision, if you will, that we are to become missionary disciples of Jesus Christ. And our mission is that we would invite, welcome, and engage one another in this discipleship. And our theme is that we are joined in faith, and we're called then to share our relationship with Jesus Christ. And missionary disciples are also generous disciples. And that's where I'd like to bring our attention to today. That we, as missionary disciples of Jesus Christ, we're called to be generous. Generosity is about opening ourselves, going out of ourselves to others. And we've experienced that already. The name tags alone allows us to say hello to one another. We wouldn't normally say hello, maybe. And we can engage in a conversation. We can open up to one another with a joyful spirit. And there has been a good buzz before and after the Masses of this weekend that we do once a month. And as we do that, we're bonded more closely together, and we become a more close-knit parish of Notre Dame. Such a willingness to share our personal stories and our own personal faith stories allows us to be transformed in the image of Jesus Christ. It allows us to be transformed by good news of Jesus Christ. And folks, we must remember, we are in possession of the greatest piece of news, and it ain't fake news. It's very real news. That we have Jesus Christ, who died on the cross for us and has promised us salvation. We know the end of the story. We have the promise of Jesus Christ. And that's very, very good news. And at Notre Dame, we share that news very generously and joyfully in the so many ministries that we have in the parish. Let us look at some of those wonderful examples of generosity on the part of the people of Notre Dame. For instance, there are over 300 people, parishioners, who are involved in the Kitchen Angels. Whenever we have an opportunity to get people together and share a meal, or whatever it might be, they come right to the door of the kitchen and prepare meals. The flock goes out and they all, when they're available, offer themselves. Great generosity. Today you'll be given a brown bag as you leave Mass to go and bring back food next week for the Interfaith Food Pantry, and also some clothing. Hundreds of bags every month go by your generosity to those who are in need of the Interfaith Food Pantry. Every Christmas time, we have 2 Christmas trees out here in the gathering space, and they have to be restocked, as it were, with gift items so that the people in need can be given a Christmas gift. Diocesan, national, international collections know that we at Notre Dame care about others. There's an interesting line in our budget, and it's line item is tithing the tithe. Some of you may be familiar with this. And again, this comes from the generosity of the people of Notre Dame, who in the regular collections every week rather, there's money allotted, and so the parish tithes back to those in need. And we have $50,000 that's set aside for groups of people or institutions that are looking for help doing charity work. And a team of people vet them and consider them and they make choices. $50,000 is given away each year on your behalf and because of your generosity. Similarly, in the Catholic school systems, every parish supports Catholic grammar school education. So when a parishioner goes to a Catholic grammar school, the parish subsidizes to a certain degree the tuition. And so that's another great gift that goes out to those in need on your behalf and because of your generosity. We have hundreds of people involved in Eucharistic ministry, in lecturing, as a catechist. We have the Follow Me ministry for Lent that's going to start, and you will hear about this later. You'll be reminded about it in the announcements. People, again, coming together during the season of Lent, looking for some transformation, and it all happens by just giving of ourselves. Young adults, youth, and the adults go to Appalachia and Guatemala each year. Again, an expression of generous living. All our homebound and the sick people regularly get Holy Communion brought to them by Eucharistic ministers. We've retreat experiences for men's cornerstone, women's cornerstone. We have men's follow-up to cornerstone, and women's follow-up to cornerstone. We have Antioch youth, and we have, beginning tomorrow evening, we have Christ Life, which will bring together about 80 people or so on a 7-week series trying to discover Christ. This is all an expression of the generosity of the people of our parish. So folks, we're part of a parish that is alive, a parish that is very joyful, and is driven to be missionary disciples of Jesus Christ, and all grounded on Jesus Christ himself. That Christ, who on the cross gave himself completely for us. So generous was his spirit that he gave up his whole life, much like a mom and dad do for the children. That's a life of great generosity and sacrifice. And it models Jesus Christ's generosity and sacrifice as well. And this is a generosity that Pope Francis is asking us to live and experience every day. Now today we are introducing a new initiative for sharing our gifts, God-given gifts with one another. It will help us to live more fully our vision and our mission, and to be united in faith, and to be driven out into the world, called to share the gift that we've been given. This initiative has been embraced by about 60 or more parishes in our diocese, and our own parish leadership and the ministries and the staff are fully behind and committed to this endeavor. Now, in terms of being a generous missionary group of disciples, there are 4 essential aspects to becoming such a person. One is that we are people that give from the heart. The heart drives everything. If we're not giving from the heart, it's a calculated, giving. We also give of our time. So many people give so much time to the well-being of our parish and other needs in our town and in our area. We also share our gifts. Every one of us have been gifted. No one here today, unless their God himself or Jesus Christ, is gifted with all the gifts necessary. We have our own special gifts, both the young and the old. Both young and old have giftedness to share with our parish. And finally, we all have a financial treasure that we can share also for the well-being of our parish. Now, while all of these are very necessary for authentic discipleship, today I'm going to ask us to consider how we might consider the financial treasure and that we can offer that can have a very positive impact in the renewed vision and mission of our parish. Now, this coming week, you will receive, actually, Tuesday, you will receive it. Tomorrow morning, it will be sent out in the mail to everyone in the parish. You will receive a brochure, a colorful brochure describing the ministries that we have in the parish, and also you will receive a pledge commitment card in the mail, and it's very clear as to what we are expected to do. I'm asking you simply to embrace Mary, read it prayerfully, consider what is being asked of the community, all of us together, and then next weekend we will have a commitment card weekend, and it will be a celebration where parishioners will share with you and give witness that we are indeed a parish that serves those in need. And your sacrificial offering, your giving, your generosity is so important to this endeavor. It tells us really that we do care for one another, particularly for those who are in need. It tells that we educate our youth and our adults in faith formation, which is a lifelong process. It's not just something that's boxed into grammar school years or high school years. And also we administer the sacramental life of the church for everyone, most especially every Sunday for our Sunday Eucharist. Now, many studies will tell us that it's good to be a person of generosity. And most recently, a study by the University of Notre Dame in Indiana have shown that when we are grateful, when we're generous, we actually become happier people. I guess every one of us would like to be a happy person here today, even in the midst of the sleet and the rain out there. We would like to be so happy and hopeful. If we are generous people, it's proven, then we become happy. And I can vouch for that with the little giving that I do on a regular basis. It makes me happy. We experience inner joy. Such joy and happiness transforms us. When we make a commitment to give in an ongoing fashion, rather than just a one-time experience, it's important that we make choices. As we heard in the first reading from Sirach, it was all about making choices. And when we make choices over and over and over again, we are changed, we are marked, and a joyful spirit emerges from within us, and we are transformed. Now, over the years, in terms of giving, I have chosen to give financial support to the parish through automatic deposit. Now, that's just because Penny Donovan needs to be organised. And so it's very easy for me to make sure that my gifting is there regularly each week. However, there are many ways in which we can offer support for the mission of our parish and for the mission of the church. As a parish, when we have that regular giving, it helps us to forecast our parish budget much more clearly. We, as a parish then, when we have this regular giving, we can also move with some confidence from being what most parishes have been. We've been in a mode of just maintaining the status quo. And in many Catholic parishes today, a lot of parishes are maintaining a decline. And we're saying here at Notre Dame, we are going from maintenance to mission mode. We're going to go out on the roads of the earth. We're going to go and welcome others in. And we're going to re-engage ourselves by coming into a mission mode. And when we have regular giving and generosity, then we can really trust that our future is going to be healthy, it's going to be alive and life-giving. Now, as we look forward to expanding our ministries and growing the numbers of those we serve, I humbly, but I also very confidently, ask that we welcome and embrace the request for financial giving in support of our parish. This is for the greater glory of God, and also that we might become the missionary disciples that Christ is calling us to be, and that Pope Francis is asking us to live every day. With such generosity, I am confident that we will become a parish community ever more joined in faith and then sent out to share. With intention, there's this buzzword today, intentional discipleship. We have to choose in this modern world to be intentional about being a disciple of Jesus Christ. And I believe that when we are intentional, then we will make a huge difference in the life of the church. We will become what you might call a leaven of the gospel of Jesus Christ in the world. So simply, I thank you for the many years that many of you have been part of this parish and have been given generously to the parish. I thank you. I also thank you in advance of your continued support and deepening commitment to the vision of the parish here at Notre Dame. Together, we will be a generous community of missionary disciples doing the work of Jesus himself for the sake of those in need, and ultimately giving of his very life that we might have life and have it abundantly and have it eternally. So God bless all of us for our generosity, for our life as a disciple of Jesus Christ. And we trust that the Holy Spirit will indeed guide us in this new endeavor. Now, there's a little humor that I should add with this as well. So these two guys, friends, they're in a shipwreck, and they wind up on a little island in the middle of the ocean, and they're worried. Will anyone ever find them? One guy's more worried than the other. So this one warrior says to his friend, "Are you not worried that no one will ever come and pick us up and find us?" And the other guy says, "No, I'm not. No, just relax." Well, why should I relax? Well, I'm a guy that makes $100,000 a week, and I tithe to my local church every week. My pastor will find me. Thank you for all your support. We are becoming a wonderfully knowing of each other, community of faith, and we're going to go on mission, bringing the goodness of God to the world.